Hey everybody, Christopher Small here with CMS Law Firm, and today I want to talk to you about a problem that I see in my office a lot with my clients, but I also know is something that really prevents a lot of people from actually doing anything when it comes to estate planning, and that is what to do or how to resolve the conflict of not being able to agree with your spouse on who the guardian for your kids should be. I know some friends of mine, they went back and forth for years before they did anything. The husband wanted it to be his parents, and the wife wanted it to be her parents, and on top of that, the husband, he thought there was no way that he was going to let it be her parents because they're crazy, and there was no way that he was going to let their parents do it because they're not Catholic or whatever the case may be. So it's a common problem, and it's something that can really railroad your estate planning goals and your needs, right? And it can really sort of freeze you into doing nothing. And today I wanted to talk about how to get over that, and sort of also give you an idea of what the consequences are of doing nothing, so that way you're sort of pushed to some sort of action, okay? So first, let's start with the bad stuff, right? If you don't have an estate plan, if you don't have a will that names your long-term guardians, then a court is going to pick for you, okay? And what that means is someone is going to win, okay? And by the way, it may not even be the people that either of you want. It could be somebody else. The way the process works is something happens to both of you, people just start dropping their names in the hat. Like, I'm up, I would love to be the guardian of these children, and please pick me, judge. There's a hearing, everybody presents sort of their stuff, and then the judge picks the best person for the job, right? He picks the one that he likes the best. There's standards there, obviously, but, and I've said this before, I think we all know those people in our family that look really good on paper, but you would never want them to be your guardians, mostly because, not because they're bad people necessarily, but because their parenting style is not the same as yours, or they have different political beliefs or religious beliefs or educational beliefs or money beliefs or whatever the case may be. You may not want them to be your person, and if you don't pick someone in your will, a judge is going to pick. It's completely out of your hands. You don't have any say in that process, whatever. You don't have any say in who is going to raise your kids. And I can tell you from my own perspective, right? I have kids. I have 3 kids. I would never want to leave it to a judge to pick someone to raise my kids, which is probably like the most important job in the world as far as I'm concerned, right? The way that we raise our kids now is going to have a dramatic effect on their success in the future, on their success right now, on their happiness, on their everything. So it's really important that you take a minute to pick. The other thing that you do when you have an estate plan, at least when you come to me, is we do temporary guardians as well. So everybody just thinks about what happens when you die, but what happens if you're both in a car accident and you're both in the hospital for a couple months recovering? This happens, and who's going to take care of the kids? If you don't have the right paperwork in place, then there could be not only some delay in getting the right person into that spot, but there could be some other consequences, like having to go to Health and Human Services for a little while until they figure it out, which are things that we never want to have happen. So a couple of the things to think about, sort of the consequences of not making a choice at all, to get you to make a choice. And that's kind of where we're coming here. So the solution, really, what I always tell people is, listen, everybody's gonna have to give a little bit. We're gonna have to pick someone for now. And what I usually say is, pick someone for now. Every single year, literally, you can revisit the issue. You can talk about it. If you want to change it every year, that's fine. It's super easy, and at least then you've got your people in place, because your B choice or your C choice even is going to often be way better than the judge's choice, because you just literally have no say in this process because you're gone, and the judge is doing his best, but he doesn't know you. He doesn't know your beliefs. He doesn't know what's important to you. He doesn't know what your parenting style is. He doesn't know any of these things. And so making that choice for the judge is going to be a difficult one. All right, now, with that being said, let me give you some real nuts and bolts process on how to take care of this problem. It's quite simple. And typically when my clients have a problem, I have a big worksheet that I just give them, and it sort of helps alleviate all these things. What it starts with is a self-assessment, right? What is important to you? What are your values when it comes to religion, when it comes to politics, when it comes to education, parenting style, money, where you want your kids to live. All of these things, you sort of write them all down, you get them all on paper, and you can write yours down, and your spouse can write theirs down, because sometimes they may not be the same, right? You may not weight the same things with the same amount of importance. Then what you do is you make a list of all the potential guardians that you have that are sort of have their hat in the ring as far as you're concerned. You write all these names down, okay? And then what you do is you, person by person, go through and you say, and you score them really, you know, who is best, who is close, how do they rank on my religion scale? How do they rank on my education scale? And when I'm talking about scale, it's really just how similar are their beliefs to mine, right? How close do they align with what I'm looking for in a potential guardian, okay? You score them all, and then what's gonna happen is they're all gonna come out, right? You'll have a score for everybody. So hopefully you should sort of have an idea of who your best person is. Have your spouse do the same thing, you'll have your own score, and then you're gonna have your people. And what I typically do, what I suggest that you consider doing at least, is eventually you're gonna have someone match up somewhere, right? So you just go down the list until you have someone that matches up, and then you talk about that person at least. But at least that gives you a jumping off point that allows you to have a real discussion and a real conversation about the role of the guardian and what they're bringing to the table, as opposed to, you know, what can happen when we start talking about our parents and we get defensive and all these things, right? I've been there, we all been there. So, you know, at the end of the day, the most important thing to remember is if you don't make a choice, even if it's not your number one choice, even if it's not your best choice, even if it's your B choice, a judge is gonna make a choice, make a decision, and it's gonna be out of your hands. And this is probably literally the most important decision that is ever going to be made in your child's life, if it needs to be made. All right, so just do it, right? Bite the bullet, make a choice. You can always update it at any time and change your mind all the time, all right? So that is it. As always, if you like this video, please hit the like button. If you know someone that could benefit from this, if you know someone that's struggling with this problem, share it with them. Type their name in the comments below, and they'll get like a little ping that'll tell them that, hey, somebody thought something of you, and they can come and watch this video. You can share it on your own page if you think it's good enough. But in any event, you know, I hope this helped, and you know, I'll talk to you again soon. My name is Christopher Small. Once again, CMS Law Firm. Thank you for your time, and I'll be in your newsfeed again soon. All right, see you. Bye.